Last time on Dragon Age Origins. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon the world.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. You 4 will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks.
Well, well. What have we here?
It is finished. Welcome. The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The blight ends here.
The ogres!
Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you. The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none? The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them. Such a shame. What?
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Grim. We are back again with Dragon Age Origins. We just spoke to Flemeth here, and we now have Morrigan in our party after being basically Terran Loghain abandoned the king of Ferelden and left him to die. So here we are. We are off to Lothering.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Honora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, your Majesty?
That is the Queen of Ferelden. Her husband, King Cailan, as you know, died when Teyrn Loghain left the battlefield early. Our party of intrepid heroes. And a dog. Is Darkspawn!
Never any shortage of these ones.
Okay. So... You're gonna... And boom.
Let's
do
finish.
this.
Wipe them out! You will learn to fear me!
He wags his tail happily and pants. I think this is the Mabari I helped cure back at Ostagar.
I think he was out there looking for you. He's chosen you. Mabari are like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy.
I've always wanted a dog like this. Maybe it's meant to be. Happy bark. Meatloaf. Yes, here. Because I can use it to make poisons or sell.
Huh.
I think that's it. All right. Continuing on to Lothering.
Wake up, gentlemen. More travelers to attend to. I'd guess that fellow is the leader.
They don't look much like them others, you know. Maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers.
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the Darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers, and you're free to move on.
You should listen to your friend. We are not refugees.
What did I tell you? No wagons, and this one looks armed.
The toll applies to everyone, Henrik. That's why it's a toll, and not, say, a refugee tax.
Oh, right. Even if you're no refugee, you still gotta pay.
You're toll collectors, then.
Indeed, for the upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
You're fixing the highway? I think not.
Not much gets past you, I see.
It's not really a toll. We're just robbing you, see?
Do shut up. Even a Genlock would have understood that.
Forget it. I'm not paying.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. We have rules, you know.
Right. We get to ransack your corpse then. Those are the rules.
Do you really want to fight a mage?
A mage? Ah, I don't want to be a toad.
Nobody's turning you into a toad, you sniveling bastard. You know, I hear a mage falls as quickly as anyone when stabbed. Let's finish this, gents. Time for more practice.
Alrighty, that's okay.
Another battle.
Look over there.
Okay, done with you now.
All right,
I think we work
surrender.
well together.
We're just trying to get by before the darkspawn get us all.
Get by? You are a criminal.
Yes, I'm a criminal. I admit it. I apologize.
Hand over everything you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chests we brought. I swear.
Then start running and don't come back.
Bless you. The darkspawn can have this place.
Knight's locket and a note. Should the rest are in the chests. Ah.
Huh.
Well, there it is. Lothering.
Pretty as a painting.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
What did you want to talk about, Alistair?
His navel, I suspect. He certainly has been contemplating it for long enough.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
You have some thoughts on that point, Alistair?
This should be good.
I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at them?
No, not yet.
There are three main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving for Eldon to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. and that's thousands of miles away.
Why are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Our Lehman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
What do you think we should do, Morgan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Lothering and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
Then we need to find these people.
I can give you directions, if you like.
Where do we find Arl Eamon?
He'll be at Castle Redcliffe, in the far western part of Ferelden, next to the mountain passes. If he isn't there, someone will be able to tell us where he is.
Where will we find the Dalish elves?
If we head eastward, towards the Brazilian forest, we should hear word of one of the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Where do we find the dwarves?
We would need to speak to their king in Orzammar. That means heading west into the Frostback Mountains, which won't be easy.
Won't the Circle of Magi do what the Chantry says?
Technically, the Circle of Magi is independent. We don't know that the Chantry won't support us, of course.
You truly believe that?
If we speak to the first Enchanter, he should see that his responsibility to the Grey Wardens supersedes anything the Chantry or even Tan Logain might have to say about it.
Where would Logain be, exactly?
If he isn't out in the field with his army, he's probably going to be at the palace in Denerim. We can go to Denerim, but somehow I suspect that they're not going to let us just walk around. Only a suspicion, of course.
I don't need any more directions.
Then you have a plan.
I do! Let's leave!
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready. There's Elfroot.
I'm scared. When are we going home?
You don't look like the other folk fleeing the south. Were you in the battle?
What makes you think that?
You don't look chastened, so you're not from the wilds. And you're not a farmer. I'd guess you saw some fighting.
Yes, I was with the King's army.
I thought them that survived already marched north with the Tairn. You must be a survivor, or a deserter. Lucky you, I guess.
I have some questions.
Can't promise I'm gonna answer them.
What's going on here?
What isn't? We got chastened barbarians in every farmholder south of Callanhard running from the Darkspawn. Not that they'll be safe here with the army gone.
Who's in charge of this village?
You could talk to the Elder, though she's got her hands full getting everyone on their way. For now, most folks go to Sir Bryant. He's head of the Chantry's Templars.
You don't have a ruling lord?
He's gone to war and taken all his soldiers, leaving us to fend for ourselves. There's not going to be much left when he returns, if he returns.
Were those bandits always outside the village?
Were? You mean they're gone?
Yes, I drove them off.
Well, goody for you. Now there's no one to drive off the blighted refugees. Sir Brian'll be glad, though. He's been talking about offering a reward for anyone who'd run them out.
I should go.
Don't let me stop you.
Fucking asshole.
You there. If you're looking for safe shelter, I'll warn you. There's none to be found.
Talk to this guy over here.
Greetings to you, good sir. If it isn't too much to ask, might you spare some bread or anything?
What happened to you?
We thought it would be safer in Lothering, that the Terran would bring his soldiers here. But bandits attacked us and took everything. Our food, our clothes, my daughter's pet lamb. Nobody cares about a few elves. Can you help us?
I met those bandits and drove them off.
That's wonderful news. Perhaps our belongings are still there.
I can't thank you enough, friend. Even if we don't get everything back, it's good to know others will be safe.
Yes, indeed. Small boy!
Have you seen my mother?
You poor thing. Did you and your mother get separated?
Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
Do you know where your father is?
He went with William to the neighbours yesterday, but he didn't come back.
Come with me. I'll help you look for your mother.
Mother said I wasn't to go with anyone. I'm supposed to wait for her here, in the village.
Here, take this silver. Buy something to eat.
A whole silver! Wow, thank you. You're a really nice man, kind of like Father. I should go look for Mother now.
Sorry, kid, your mom's dead.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
Why would I want to help you?
Didn't I mention profit?
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
You don't think you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
I think you can compromise and still make a profit, no?
Perhaps. If that woman agrees I'm allowed to charge something.
Do what you must, so long as the prices do not beggar the needy.
Fine, fine, done. And since you don't look too needy, normal prices for you.
Fine.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn will be impressed.
Indeed they shall, Morrigan.
Generous assistance. May the Maker watch over your path.
Persuasive. Anyway.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something?
I am indeed. Let's see what you have.
All right. Just don't buy everything up.
Wine. A gift. Interesting. Yep. But... So that. I think that's all I'm gonna sell for now. Yep. Actually, there's a silver
Don't
bracelet
suppose you're looking to buy something.
that I just saw that
All
I
right.
can sell.
Just don't buy everything up.
Where is it? Yep, there we go. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted. Hubba bubba bubba.
The legions of evil
Oh,
are
boy.
on your doorstep. They will feast upon our hearts. There is nowhere to run. This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts.
Please, you're scaring the children.
Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at Darkspawn hands.
God.
There! One of their minions is already amongst us. This man bears their evil stench. Can you not see the vile blackness that fills him?
Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people. I will not be silent.
Please stop. Somebody shut his mouth.
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us.
You poor man. What happened to you?
My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn.
It must have been horrible. How did you escape?
No, I won't listen to the words of a man tainted by Darkspawn.
I am not evil. Please, won't you talk to me?
I ran, hearing my wife's screams as they dragged her off.
Scaring these people won't bring her back. You are not honoring her death by acting like this.
Are you calling me a coward?
I'm calling you an idiot. Listen to yourself for a moment.
I have shamed my ancestors, but the blackness will come.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
There is always hope. Muster your courage.
You're right. We can't give up.
But we can't fight. What are we supposed to do?
We can't lie down and die either. We must go north to Denerim.
To the north!
Your king is dead! There is no hope!
If you seek refuge in the Chantry, there's simply no room left.
You're closed?
We turn none aside, but we simply don't have room for anyone to sleep. Priests are within if you seek to offer devotion to the Maker, however. May he protect us all.
Who's in charge of this chantry?
The revered mother runs the Chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Did you know there were bandits on the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Goodbye.
Make her watch over you.
Get that, bounty, I guess. Oh, I can level up. And okay. Oh, there we go. So I have this, which will add more. And I can wear armor now. There. Alright.
There's word of darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are
Sir
the only hope
Donald.
of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us. Yes? Who might you be?
You can call me Dalen.
I am Sir Bryant, commander of Lothering's remaining Templars. You don't seem like the other refugees. Are you one of Arl Eamon's knights?
I'm a Great Warden, actually.
I see. Tern Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tern claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
About those bandits outside the village.
Maker's breath. How many times must we drive them off?
One less, I drove them off myself.
Indeed? They're gone?
It's true. I saw the bastard running for the hills myself.
That's an impressive feat indeed. Will you accept a small reward for your efforts?
Certainly, thank you.
If it interests you, there is a Chanters board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Is there any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
Fantastic, I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Alright, now to Sir Donald.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks to Tern Loghain.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
If he were well? What do you mean?
The Arl is stricken with an illness that threatens his life. We have found no cure, either natural or magical.
When did this happen?
Only a few weeks ago, but he has declined quickly. No one knows the nature of the illness, and even magic has done little to slow its progress. Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon, in fact.
Why is that, if I may ask?
We need his help against Tern Loghain.
I see. The Arl is a popular man, it's true. Tern Loghain, however, is a hero throughout Ferelden. Whatever the Tern has done or not done, the Arl remains ill, or worse. That is my primary concern.
Do you think Loghain is involved with the Arl's illness?
The Arl fell ill before the king died. But what if Loghain planned that too? Oh, such thoughts do not sit well with me.
We should see what's happening in Redcliffe ourselves. I believe that now more than ever.
If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
Your friend, Sir Henrik, is dead. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I drove off the bandits that killed him.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
Tell me more about this Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
Perhaps I could help you.
Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, good sir. You have been most helpful.
And when the Maker spoke,
all right.
chant of light scattered
I used a key. Okay, there's a couple people in here that we can
and I'm off.
gather.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn
Going.
of sacred ashes is?
Well, look what we have here, men. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Logain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a fellow by this very description? And everyone said they hadn't seen him.
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
What makes you think we're traitors?
Tern Logain claims the Grey Wardens betrayed the king. Or haven't you heard?
Enough talk! Take the warden into custody. Kill this sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Right. Let's make this quick.
Tactical.
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
Take a message to Logain.
What do you want to tell him?
The Grey Wardens know what really happened.
I'll tell him. Right away, now. Thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
And who are you anyhow?
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
What does that mean?
I joined the Chantry to live a life of religious contemplation. But I am no priest, not even an initiate.
I am Dalen. A pleasure.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
I will need help, that is true.
That and the Maker wants me to go with you.
Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
Very well. I will not turn our way help when it is offered.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
Alright,
Indeed.
Alright. Barlin.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
You're out of food?
A whole mess of refugees come in and leave near every night. All have hungry bellies, sad tales, and mementos for barter. I sold that bleeding merchant outside about half my larder 2 weeks back, and now he's charging outrageous sums for all my food.
Don't worry about him. I took care of it.
You did? Well, I don't know what to say to that. Thanks.
Show me what we got. Oh, let's see. Ooh! Oh, they're too expensive. Never mind.
You're here about food. Take it up with that. I got other gear to sell.
Knowing if any well-paying work in Lothering?
Check the chanter's board by the chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about poison?
I have dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. I might have some ingredients in stock. Don't really know what you need.
Show me what you have. I need... Death root. I do have flasks. Good. No, I don't have flasks. I need flasks. These are what I have. I have one death root. Venom, okay. I need to kill the spiders then.
How is it the Terran Low games survived when even a Grey Warden didn't make it out of that place?
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
What do you need traps for?
Old man Barlin said that Darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I figured I'd put a few on my lands. Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps.
Sorry, I can't make traps.
I didn't mean to bother you. Sorry.
Girly pop. No need to be so nervous.
You got a bed for the night. You taken care of.
Actually, I was more hoping I could help you.
Don't need blades right now. We need beds, food, and an end to all these sad sots. I don't suppose you know anything of tonics, medicines, or herbs.
I know a bit of a herbalism.
Then you may be able to do us a lot of good. All manner of travellers come through, many injured or sick. We do our best, but we're out of supplies. There's medicinal herbs in the woods to the north. If you make a few poultices, I'll scrape together some sort of payment.
I think I
I'll
just
write all
need
you need to
elf
know in this
fruit.
note here.
Yeah. I just need health poultices. Um. How many did I need? 3 of them? I have 4. Fantastic.
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
I didn't need them. Here you go.
This will help many people. You're a good sort, you know.
You're welcome. Now let's go speak.
I saw you take the supplies from my car. Your grassland eyes are inept. A chieftain would never...
You aren't one of my captors. I will not amuse you any more than I have the other humans. Leave me in peace.
What are you?
A prisoner. I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
It is as she says. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
Kunari?
If you haven't heard of us, that is your own shortcoming. Though it matters little now. I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
I find myself in need of skilled help.
No doubt. What help do you seek?
I am sworn to defend the land against the Blight.
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Yes, I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
Would the revered mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance. It seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
I'll leave you for now.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the Darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
Fantastic.
People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows. But what about my food?
You do not
I
seem a
said
refugee. You're
enough.
part of the army.
The carnage we left in the wild was...
Alright, let's go speak to the revered mother. Get some...
I'm wondering, Morrigan, do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep.
Speak to the revered mother with Leliana. I think I know how I'm gonna do the rest of the group here and get the allies. I think we're gonna go
Good day,
to the
Sister
circle
Liliana.
first.
I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion.
For reasons.
Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
Tithe to the Chantry. Are you joking?
A great number of people could be fed and clothed for a fraction of your finery. But you must do as your heart wills. What can I do for you, then?
I want to talk about Sten, the Kunari you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
I want him freed. I might have use for him.
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Liliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence.
Thanks.
Your trust is not misplaced.
Alrighty. I think there's a thing back here. Nope. Okay. Never mind. Stop by the board, and then we'll release Sten, and then we'll do the missions that are on the board. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot about those.
And I'm off. Yes.
Bandits. Bandits everywhere. Yes, I shall accept. Mushrooms.
They say your mother is Flemeth, a witch of the Kukari Wilds.
They also say that washing your feet in winter makes you catch cold in the head, but we all know that is not true. But sometimes they are right, and they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother...
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Thank you, Sten. Glad I have you with us.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my current party, though, because I don't have armor or weapons for you right now. Hold on. One, I think there's another over here and over there.
Watch out! I tried to be merciful.
And I'm off.
You should run while you can.
Fantastic. That's one down. Search the dead bodies. Oh, there's another one over there. I think there's another over here somewhere as well. There's spiders over here.
That's a lot of blood.
1, 2.
Going.
And now can do that. these guys.
All right.
Let us end this! Now we can put them
I'll try to be merciful.
Oh my goodness.
Let's make this quick. Let's end this.
I am ready. Another battle, I see. Oh, this should be good. Is too easy.
Yes?
Sorry. Nothing, never mind. I can give these to, Sten.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
There is one more.
Bad breath alert. And I'm off.
You forced our hand.
And I'm off.
Too easy.
How about you then? If you insist.
Here comes trouble.
All right. Yes.
Is that all you've got?
Let's have at this!
All right.
Yep. Talk to the dude. And there was someone else that I needed to speak to. I don't remember.
Any luck with that poison? Or you here to see my stock?
Okay.
Any luck with that poison? Or you here to see my stock?
I swear to God. Okay. I have what you asked for.
If those beasties come on my land, I hope it teaches them a lesson. Yeah.
The
Enough
beasties
gold to
is
cover
the
any of
dark
your
spot.
expenses and then some. Hey?
Sure. Go to the
Neighbor fled the city yesterday.
the board here.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
bears. And accept that one. Let's accept that one. To make the monies! Do these, and then we'll leave.
In the wilds we're eaten, here we starve. Is there no end to our fortunes?
Why are there so many? Dead body.
And I'm off.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Boy's mama got killed by wolves. I think the bears are over here. Yeah, here they are.
Oh, I was hoping for something more exciting. All right.
Now, normally, there is a group of villagers over here that overheard you talking to those soldiers in the tavern. They do try to attack you. You can see them right over there. I am going to go around in hopes of avoiding them.
So let's talk about your mother.
Got a brother that fell at Ostergar.
I'd rather talk
Hope we're
about
not
your
next.
mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you,
Alrighty.
perhaps, you would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That.
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Sure. Okay, that's it. Now we can leave. I've done as much as I can in here. Like I said, there's guys over here that I'm going to try to avoid. Because I'd rather not kill a bunch of civilians that are only trying to survive.
Someone help us!
Oh look, I got another achievement!
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
You're welcome.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been
Sandal,
mighty dangerous these days.
the most
Mind if I
interesting
ask what brings you
character
out here?
in
Perhaps
the
we're going
games.
same way.
I doubt you'll be wanting to travel with a Grey Warden.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot. No offence, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Going.
And yes.
Huh.
But before, I want to
What
talk
do you
to
wish of me?
some of these people. I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Your mother has been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. Indeed, you could learn the spells required if I cared to teach you.
You spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
What do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
I've never heard of magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved.
I'm shocked that you think so. Being a mage of the circle as you were, but perhaps you felt a little like a caged bird as well. caught within that dark tower.
Yes, very much so.
I thought so.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities sound quite useful.
Oh, you're simply full of surprises, little man, aren't you? But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Yeah. Let's talk to her
What
again.
do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon, then, while I jump for joy. What is it you asked, if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
I was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching, like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Yeah. Okay,
Yes?
What do you... I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me.
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
So, fun fact, I imagine everybody, minus maybe Sten, and of course Wynn that you end up getting later on, are in like their early 20s. Like freshly adults, basically. The Archdemon. And that is why you'll understand when I get to Veilguard, I guess.
Bad dreams, huh?
Seems so real.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a Blight.
The Archdemon. Is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me, too.
Any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
I can't yet. I have to give Sten his armor. And that one. Yes. So. Oh. Alright. So Liliana, Morrigan's over there, Stan, Alistair, Meatloaf. Let's go talk to the dog.
Oh, why, you little...
Are you harassing my dog?
Me? Harassing your dog? I should say it's the other way round. Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he is a war dog.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Okay.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
I'd never feed you another human being.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
A dog's too smart for his own good.
Oh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
He ruined them. Does this mean you have to go without?
Maybe, but that is not the point. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
That dog is too smart for his own good.
He is certainly manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Actually, I think Sten is a two-handed weapon, dude.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
That's like one of my favorite interactions. Just digging away. Alright, have fun then. I think that's all the interactions for now between everybody. Let's talk to Bowden and Sandal.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bowden Fenwick, at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Let me see your wares, Bowden.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the
Sandal
goods
can
my
enchant
boy and I
things.
have collected. And with your discount.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. All of this stuff is like real expensive. Ah. I'll get that because I could put it on the dog. Oh, I can't get that. Damn it. Okay. Everything's so expensive. Oh, these are the the gifts and the prank things that you can give your friends to either lower or get or raise their affinity level towards you. But I'm not going to do that because I want to do this. I mean, I will give them gifts and stuff, but it's going to be not DLC content. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Okay.
Hello.
Talk to Sandal.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
Farewell. Okay. Morgan.
Yes?
Well, okay, she's already, liking me, it seems, with a yes. I'd like to ask you
If you
something.
must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you're cute when you're invasive. Evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were.
Oh my god.
Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Fun? You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Did you actually kill them all? Sure, no, surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Do you still think that was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
You're probably right.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Fantastic. Okay, Morgan, we're talking again.
Yes?
I'm gonna ask you something.
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
An old woman.
Oh, she is certainly old. Have no mistake of that. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago was this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another man.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which she never invaded, or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
An interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move on.
Girly pop.
Yes?
I wanted to ask you a question.
So, full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to become a shapeshifter? I think
Possibly,
I can now.
if I had the desire
Oh,
to.
never mind.
I do not.
I cannot. As you wish.
Yes?
Yes.
So, full of questions, are you?
Tell me, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
She was not always as old as she is now, was she?
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
You know, it is really fucking crazy to come back and play this game after playing the Veilguard and knowing so much more of the lore now. I'm of course not going to say anything just in case people want to watch this who have never, ever, you know, played the Dragon Age games, but it's crazy to come back. Anyway, does that mean you love her?
What an odd thing to say. Why must love enter into the equation? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
I suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true?
Girly pop.
'Tis true. Take yourself. You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love.
Why limit yourself?
I do not consider it a limitation. Not leaping into a burning building also happens to be an experience best avoided. I tire of this discussion. Let us move on, shall we?
Oh, God, thank God.
Yes?
Okay. So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
And did they speak back?
Don't be foolish. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Okay, I need to look at something. Okay. Okay. I will talk to you once more. I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Ugh! I could kiss her. You know what? I will. Because I cannot tell if I'm to that point to where we do the deed or not. So, kissy kissy goo goo.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Do you object?
Not unless you stop.
Bitch, why is your eyes open? That's fucking weird. Okay. Cool. Let's go talk to the others. Sten.
Why are we stopping?
I think we should talk for a moment.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you. At my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No, why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of... The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
You said you were in the army.
I am.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, human.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
So the Kunari people don't come from the islands?
We do now.
Where did you come from before?
Somewhere else.
Can you be more specific?
No. I was born in Seheron. Of the land we came from, I know nothing, not even its name. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
We should get
As you
moving.
wish.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Stan! What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Obviously. Do you have to be so literal?
No, it's a choice, not a necessity.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did.
Good lord.
Parshera, was there anything else?
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
Oh, that's enough
Then
now.
I suggest we move on.
Oh, God, fine. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
What's an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So he's your king.
Kunari have no kings.
Why does he care about the Blight?
Why do you?
Ferelden is my home. I'm a grade warden. It's my job.
Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arishok sends me and I go.
Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
So what are you still doing here then?
I cannot go home.
Why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
I wanted to discuss something.
Speak, then.
That's enough for
Then
now.
I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As
I
you
don't think I can speak to him anymore. Alistair.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So could others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
So you were addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective. or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Where are the nearest wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
So what happens now that there's just the two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Will we need to start rebuilding the Order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be two of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the Blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
I have no more questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
I'm gonna ask...
Ask away.
So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
I mean, before that.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem like the religious sort.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
You think this is better than being a Templar?
Oh, I suppose the Chantry life is good enough for some. Here, we have the chance to fight against the Blight. To actually do some good instead of sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
Alistair!
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Just, you might need to talk. He was like a father to you, I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There is no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
What about the other Grey Ward? He had you.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
He saved your life by sending you to that tower.
Yes. I know. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
No, not really. Not since I went to the tower.
That must have felt a lot like when I got sent to the Chantry. You mages don't even get a say in the matter, after all. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Maybe I'll go to High Ever with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think. What do you need?
Try...
Ask
see if
away.
there's anything else. So you said this Arl Eamon raised you?
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
It's not what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arl Eamon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he... He wasn't your father, so you know who is?
I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
That's... what an awful thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
And do you think the Arl will help us?
I think so, yes. This news we've heard about him being sick disturbs me, though. I wonder if we won't discover that Loghain has come to the same conclusion as we have. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Cool. Liliana. After I am done speaking with her, then we'll move on to the tower, I guess. I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry? This cloister.
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending? How so?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world. They treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I prefer your ideas of the Chantry. I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Giant cheese wheel on the ground.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You know, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. No, I'm going to be romancing Morrigan. If it wasn't obvious. They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they?
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Girly pop. No.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
You were traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
I'm gonna leave it here for her, actually. I don't really need to listen to stories, so... Oh, I need to talk to this guy. Levi...
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden.
Oh.
Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the Coins? Levy the Trader?
I'm Dalen. I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
What promise did Duncan make you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered, to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden Commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
Just tell me what you need to know. Yeah. Just tell me
Duncan
what I
wanted
need
to
to know.
reclaim the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. And perhaps we'll uncover evidence to restore my family's honour along the way. Nobody's been to Soldier's Peak since the Grey Wardens were banished, but I found a way. They say it's haunted, and it's certainly dangerous. Will you help me?
Let's go to Soldier's Peak.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Hehe. Alright.
Yes.
Who should I take? I'm gonna take Alistair,
Yes.
Liliana, and Dog. Soldier speak. Red Cliff. Soldier's Pass. And then the Dale is... and Orzammar. I'm gonna head home.
We're coming here to see the mages, right? Oh, great. They just love me.
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass.
I am a Grey Warden and I seek the assistance of the mages.
Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it.
Prove it?
Kill some Darkspawn. Come on, let's see some righteous Grey Wardening.
Grey Wardening isn't something you do, it's something you are.
Ugh, semantics. Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go.
Your superior won't like that you've given me trouble.
He won't know if you never get in, will he? Oh, I've outsmarted you. If I were more flexible, I'd pat myself on the back.
I warn you, my patience is wearing thin.
Is that bad? Look, I'm, just trying to do my job. I'll take you right now, just like you wanted.
Yes, please do.
Come along, I suppose.
Back to the tower. The Circle of Magi. Let's see what home has become.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray.
Gregor, good to see you again.
Well, look who's back. A proper Grey Warden now, are we? Glad you're not dead.
You're truly glad I'm not dead?
Perhaps. Now we're dealing with a situation that doesn't involve you, Grey Warden.
This tower was my home. I want to know what's happened.
I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. Abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. We were too complacent. First Jowan, now this. Don't think I've forgotten your role in Jowan's escape.
I was just doing what I was told.
I suppose I cannot fault you for that, though Irving could have done more to prevent what happened. It set a dangerous precedent. I should have been more vigilant and urged Irving to be more wary. I can only hope that someday Jowan gets what he deserves. But right now I have other pressing concerns.
What has become of the first enchanter?
We don't know. We saw only demons, hunting Templars and mages alike. I realized we could not defeat them and told my men to flee.
What can I do to help?
I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
The right of annulment?
The right of annulment gives Templars the authority to neutralize the Mage Circle. Completely.
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again.
The mages are not defenseless. Some must still live.
If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find
I'll look for survivors.
I assure you, an abomination is a force to be reckoned with, and you will face more than one.
Abominations cannot stand against me.
If you succeed, I would owe you much, enough that I would pledge my Templars to your cause. Without word from Denerim, I must determine our course. Surely destroying Darkspawn is a worthy goal.
We have an agreement then.
A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, then the circle is lost and must be destroyed. May Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
Fantastic.
I don't want to die.
I wish this were over. We're running low on supplies, and I don't know how much longer we'll last.
I'm sure it will be over soon.
I certainly hope so. Are you here to trade, then?
Alright, let's trade. I do actually need to have Morrigan with me. I know there's a way.
I have a thought.
Yes.
We have an
What's on your
opportunity
mind?
that I believe we should take advantage of. To the point. My mother was once divested of a particular grimoire by a most annoying Templar hunter. It occurred long before I was born, but even today, Flemeth speaks of the loss with great rage. With the circle of Magi in such disarray, it occurs to me that this might be the perfect time to recover the tome from their possession, for surely it eventually ended up in their hands.
What makes you think the mages still have this book?
Flemeth is a sorceress of legend, is she not? And her grimoire would be more than a mere curiosity to mages that daren't even glance towards the places my mother has walked for eons. No doubt 'tis considered something dangerous, perhaps best locked away somewhere dark, yes? And if not, then at least I know it does not exist. But there is no harm in looking, surely?
What do you want with this grimoire exactly?
Tis a book of spells
Grimoire.
of the sort that Flemeth has dabbled with throughout her long life. Not the sort of thing that would benefit a mage such as yourself, perhaps, for you were taught a different path. I, however, was taught by my mother. I know a way around the wards my mother would have placed on such a tome. I know the language that she would have written it in. I would find such a tome most useful.
Very well. We'll keep an eye out for it.
Good. I am most interested to see its contents, should it be located. The grimoire is leather-bound and adorned with the symbol of a leafless tree, should you come across it. If not, however, then I shall simply put it out of my mind.
Alright. And closed and locked. Alright. So I think I'm going to actually leave it here for now. Because this will be a long one. The Mage's Tower mission, honestly, I don't really care for it. It is my least favorite out of all of the not companion quests. Ally gathering quests, I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. So thanks for watching. My name is Grim, and I'll see you next time.
I know that you're afraid, it feels like every day things are slipping away, you're slipping away. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time.